Hello, I'm Micks Mowers, Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be working on this little Hater Harrier 41 lawnmower. Belongs to a friend of mine called Clive, and he says that it's starting intermittently. It won't always start. So it's been sat in my garden for around about 2 months because of my ongoing issues I'm having with my pop at the moment. But today is a beautiful day. Mum's just turned up and she's gone down to go and see Dad because they got some kind of zoo feature at the care home today where they got donkeys and bits and pieces coming in. And I thought, well, Mum can go look after Dad for a bit, and I'll get on and do this one here. It's been sat here for months, as I say, so he's not really sure why it's not working. But we'll look into it. It's got fuel in there. It's not been started for about 2 months. Simple as that. Let's just give it a fire up, see what it does. Right, that's it. Let's get my spark checker, and then we'll test for spark, and then get it on the bench if need be. Mr. Spark Checker, where are you? There. Let's set it to lawnmower and we'll go from there. Right, that's on. Just give it a quick pull. That's all you need to do, no more than that. And it's saying low spark or no spark. So that's saying low spark or no spark on there. Yeah. So it's coming up as low spark or no spark. So that could be that the spark plug just needs changing, or the coil's no good. So what I'll do is I'll grab another spark plug and we'll try that. All right, let's move it around in the sunlight a bit. Got another spark plug here. And this spark plug looks to be, well oily. It is getting fuel though. That all looks good. Let's put that on. Reset it. That's saying no spark. So it's either a dead man's switch is not allowing it to spark, or a coil. So what I'm going to do, just going to try and pull this cable over a bit more, see if that makes any difference whilst we're pulling it, just by tugging on this cable here. Come here, Pip. So all I'm doing is just trying to show you, when you pull this dead man's handle in, that activates the switch on the lawnmower just down here. Okay, see that? Now sometimes these cables, they stretch a little tiny bit, and what you can do is you can activate your dead man. We get hold of this cable, just pull it sideways, and it just gives a little bit more tension on that switch. That's still saying no spark. So I'm just going to tie back this handle to see actually if it's clearing the switch or not. Right, on further inspection, after tying back the handle just here, it is actually showing me that the the dead man's handle switch inside here is actually opening the circuit up, so there's no reason why that shouldn't actually start other than a bad switch or a bad coil or something along that line. So let's get up on the bench, have a quick little look. Right, so on my spark tester it's showing coil is low or no spark. Okay, so that's not good enough. Need to see for certain that the dead man's handle is actually operating as it should do, and that there's no broken wires anywhere from the coil to the switch. That would be the first place to check. I have checked the spark plug. That's a good spark plug in there, I know it is, and there's no reason why it shouldn't work. Then we'll go from there. Right, so on this Quantums, we want to remove the tank and the recoil system. So there's a little tiny 3/8 bolt here down beside the tank, and there'll be a little tiny plastic spacer that goes in between the tank and the engine, so don't lose those. We can then remove the top cover, and then there'll be some little tiny quarter bolts to remove off the top. There's 3 of those. That's one. And then we'll be able to slip the tank back a little bit after we've done those. So let's just whiz them off. 1, 2, 3. Let's just retain those. I'll be losing them because they go for wander otherwise. Good. And then I can just remove the pull cord. What I'm going to do is probably just cut the pull cord. I can just re-thread it later on. That'll probably be the easiest thing to do. Just cut the pull cord right at the top. Just give me a bit of space. And I can just reattach that later on. That's no biggie. Once that's done, we can then just tip this whole tank assembly out and round. You can just sit there for now. It's no drama. I might even actually just remove the whole tank setup. Just get it gone. There's a bit of fuel in there, not a lot, but you might as well just remove it. Just get a bit of rag just to soak up any fuel spillage. We can now start to remove the actual recoil system so that we can have a good look at this dead man's handle switch. I don't have to do it, but it just pasted it so you guys can see a bit more of a video. So 2 bolts at the back, and then 2 3/8 bolts at the front. That's all that holds the recoil in place, and there is just one more quarter which just holds the throttle assembly on. I'll just show you that quickly, otherwise you're going to say, Mick, all the bit I wanted to see, you didn't show it. So just remove the 2 bolts, one here and one here, and then there's just one here to remove. Just take that off and remove this cable from the front of the mower. So just whip that off, and then just guide that throttle cable out the way. Remove that, and that's out of the way. We can then now just remove recoil assembly. Let's put you back on your perch. That'll lift up, come straight off, like so. That can go out of the way. And all now I'm going to do is just going to turn this mower around so the other side, so we can see that dead man's handle switch a little bit better. Right, so here you can see the cable that operates the dead man's handle switch, and here's the actual micro switch itself. Okay, and the switch needs to be clear. So at the moment this is in a closed position. Oh, sorry, open position. That's closed because the handle's not operated. So you can see here that that's where it sits, and this little tiny piece, let me find a little pointing stick for you just so we get a better look at it. When the handle at the top is not operated, this little piece here will touch this piece here, and that is what gives the connection to say stop the engine. Okay, when you operate the handle, this cable will move, then this slider will slide away, and there should be a gap in between this piece here and this piece here, of which there is. I can see that, okay? But one other little point I have just found, I'm not sure if this is actually the reason, but this cable just here looks to be either dirty or could be split. So we need to check the continuity between this end piece here to the end that goes onto the coil up the other end. That's an important piece. The coil does look a little bit rusty, to be fair, so we might just take the coil off anyway and give it a little bit of a clean, okay? So that's where we're going to go next. It's either we've got a duff coil or a duff cable in between the two. That's where I think I'm going to be going with it. So I'm going to remove this this coil next, because we'll have to test the coil regardless. And the coil comes off. Lovely jubbly. Off comes Mr. Coil. I'm just going to remove this little tiny HT lead as well. Now what sometimes happens is these wires in between the coil and the switch, they just get a bit worn over time, and what happens is, because they get a bit worn, they can cause a bit of a split. So we can just remove that cable from the coil. Okay, put the coil to one side for a minute. Now I'll get my multimeter. Now you may not have multimeters, and you can just do a visual check. Let me just find my multimeter. I had it just earlier on today because I saw it. Multimeter, bottom drawer should be. Here it is. There's my multimeter, and we're just going to put this onto continuity, that little red one there, okay? And I'll try and prop it up where we can see it. And if you touch the two cables together, it should make a beeping noise. It says my battery is low on my multimeter. Let me change the battery on my multimeter. And of course it has to be one of them square buggers, which I haven't got a spare one of in the shop, so I'm have to try and be a bit quicker with it. So hit the two prongs, it should go beep. Yeah, it is. And we're now going to go off the end of this wire and onto the end of this wire. Yeah, and that's fine. Let's tell me about continuity. Lovely. So there's nothing wrong with the actual wire itself, there's just something wrong with my battery. So we're going to look towards a coil now. Get myself a new battery for that. But before I get on, I have actually got a couple of parcels here that have turned up over the weeks and weeks and weeks of me not being away. First parcel was some ultrasonic cleaning fluid from my very good friend Ian. Ian's not a well man, he probably won't like me saying that, but he has been a good friend of mine from a long time since doing the channel. He knows what I'm going for at the moment, and he sent a little tiny parcel. I believe he sent a ham as well, but that's now currently stuck in China apparently. It's on its way, but being delayed. But thank you very much to Ian, who sent me some ultrasonic cleaning fluid off my Amazon wish list. Cheers, buddy boy. And two more parcels here turned up. These have been here weeks and weeks and weeks. The first set is a set of Knipex plumber's grips. These are lovely, absolutely beautiful. But the proper Knipex ones, I don't think there's no note with this one. So if it was you, thank you very much indeed for my Knipex pliers. They're lush, and they will replace my cheaper ones. Thank you very much indeed for those. And then I've got another parcel here which turned up. There's a love letter in here, I believe. I just dropped it. Where did that go? I've got a love letter here, but no, that's the one. Here it is. From Tony in Port Fairy, Victoria in Australia. So I have got a subscriber in Australia. Fantastic. And he sent me over also, off my Amazon wishlist, another set of Nipex pliers, but these are van pliers. These are lush, so that's what I've been waiting for. So these van pliers have actually got teeth on the inside there, so you can pull stuff as well. So that's even better. So 2 pairs of Nipex stuff. I need to upgrade my toolbox. So I've got long nose pliers, side cutters, and what have you. Now I just need to put upgrade. So I've got all Nipex. I love Nipex stuff. Really good quality. So thank you very much for that. Let's get on and look at this coil. Now the coil is off. There's just a little bit of rust on there in places, which will affect the problem. The problem I have, I need to try and test this coil, and I don't think I'm going to be able to test the coil because my batteries are low on my tester. So try and do a quick test if I can, see if it'll let me. 0.47. Good coil. I think my 0.4, well, 4.7, 4.7, and the primary contact 0.4 or 4.7. So that says it's a good coil. So it's actually saying there's nothing wrong with that coil. So that's weird. But it's not to say just because it has got a good reading that it's actually a bad coil. What I'm going to do, this looks to be quite clean. I'm going to give it a bit of a clean just on. See that top side there? That doesn't very good there. I'm going to give it a bit of a sand off with my wire brush, and also going to clean the posts that the coil sits on. Bit of a clean up, then we're going to reinstall that. See how we get on. Right, coil now cleaned, a bit more shiny out where it needs to be, and on the ends as well. And I'm also going to just check these magnets on the flywheel, because there's a little bit of rust on there. Not a lot, just a little bit. And the magnets are working, but I'm going to give them a little bit of clean as well, just a bit of a rub off, and then I'm going to refit the coil. I'll show you how to do that. So flywheel cleaned a bit, and these little tiny posts that the coil sits on, they want to clean as well. Bit of sandpaper, wire brush, whatever you've got to hand. Make a good connection. Right, bring the coil in. Now on these Briggs coils, it's got cylinder side and this side out written on it. This side out means facing up away. Put your little tiny wire back on first, and then sit your coil down into its place. Grab the little tiny bolts it comes with, and just start them off. Turn your flywheel away so that nothing is, so the magnets aren't near the coil for now. I'm just going to open the dead man's handle up so I can turn the engine over a bit more freely. See that? I'm going to grab a business card, Micks Mowers and Mower Man business card, and I'm going to slide my business card in between the flywheel and the magnet, and I'm going to rotate this back so that the magnets get hold of the coil. Yeah. And I'm just going to slowly and gently nick them up. Don't go mad because you'll snap these. So just on them nicely nicked up. You don't have to go super duper mad. As I say, you will snap them. Once they're down, just give them a little tiny chugga. Not a lot though. We can now remove the business card out, and you see the gap in between the flywheel and the coil. We can now bring this one down, and that's nice and clean inside there. That's all okay. We can now put our HTV back on if you want to. I'll probably leave it off just for the people in the comment section with no sense. I can now reinstate the recoil. That's all good. I'm going to give that a quick little spray of GT85 whilst we're in here, just to lube up the old recoil itself. I don't expect it's in a bit of service. That can all go down, and then just a little bit of metal cowling over this side here, just want to keep an eye on, make sure it all fits down together. That's it, that's all on. And then transfer over to the 3/8 socket, and you want to put the 3/8 back in that came out, 2 at the back, and then 2 back at the front. So 3/8 socket on. I'll do the ones at the back first. Just going to run that one down. That's them 2. And then there's just 2 to do on the front side. I'm going to start that one off first and then get the other one going before you do them up, because you don't want to pinch the HT lead on that front grille. Okay, right, that's all now been done. So technically what we can now do is just do a very, very quick test on the spark situation now. I'm not expecting the machine to fire or to start, but I should now be able to now at least check to see if actually we have now gained a spark back, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to put my spark checker on. There it is there. My dead man's handle was pulled in. I'm not expecting the machine to start. I'll take it off a choke. It may start, it may not, we'll see. It's still saying no spark. So now it's either going to be the spark plug itself, or it's actually going to be a duff coil, is what it is. So I'm going to change the spark plug over for a new spark plug. Because that spark plug could be naff, and then I'll come back to you once I've done that, and then we're going to retest again. But I've got a stinking suspicion it's a coil. I'll have a look to see if I've got a spare coil anywhere in my arsenal. Right, so I have now pulled the engine over with another spark plug in it, and still showing no spark. So it's pretty much 100% the coil itself. So I'm going to get hold of the bloke and get a new coil ordered for him, and I'll come back to you once that coil's in, and I'll show you how to fit it, how to set it. Hopefully we'll get a spark, and then we'll go from there. Right, so it's been about a week and a half since I first started this machine. As you all know, I've got problems with my dad in the care home. Not for problems with the care home, but problems with my dad. So I've been really tied up with him, investing in my dad with his dementia journey, and things are taking a bit of a downward step a little bit, but we are sort of turning a little corner with him now. He's not walked in over 2 weeks. He's barely eating, barely drinking, but it looks like we've changed the meds a little bit, and there's a little tiny bit of improvement. That's been over 2.5 days, but I'm going down in about an hour with the Doppham's team, specialist mental health dementia team, to go and see him again today. I see him pretty much every day, and we're going from there. So, but I want to get on and finish this hater off today if I can. I've got about an hour and a half spare, but before I do get on, I had a nice little gift come through off my Amazon wish list. Now, I have got one of these already, but I've got a slightly bigger one, and this was sent to me. I think I know who it was from, I believe, although there's no note in there. I'm guessing it's from my mate Ian, who lives up Lincolnshire sort of way, that area. He's been a good friend of mine. He's not a very well man himself. I know he's not, and doesn't like me talking about that, but he's not a well man. But I know he did try to buy me one of these off of TikTok, I think. I can't remember now. And it was cancelled, but this has just turned up, so I'm assuming this is from my good friend Ian. As I say, I do have one. I have one slightly bigger, and you know me, I like a nice big hammer, but it's always nice to have a little one too. So they are different size, but these are called 4 hammers. And they're just nice for soft impacts rather than the bigger ones. So yeah, I've got 2 now. So that's good. So if that was you, Ian, thanks, buddy boy. Much appreciated. I should put it with my other hammers in my hammer drawer. And then I have now purchased this coil, which I'm hoping is the right one for this machine, because it had a no spark issue. So I've tested everything on this machine. I've tested the continuity on the wire. I've tested, I've checked the switch, I've checked the spark plug, and it still has no spark. So although the coil was reading, I think in the video it was like 2.4, 2.6, something like that, I can't remember, which does say it's a good coil. But that's not to say, because it's reading a good coil, it's not to say it's actually passed. That sounds a bit weird, right? You think it's either pass or fail, Mick, but I have seen before where coils read well and actually they fail. Okay, so it may have a spark, but it's not a good enough spark. But it's actually showing no spark, not anything at all. So I've now got this this coil, which I got from Garden Hire Spares. It's about 25 quid, something like that, with postage. And here it is here. And it'll say on it this side out as well, which is what you want, and this side cylinder side. So the cylinder side faces down and this side out faces up. Okay, so I'll get you repositioned. We'll get this coil fitted onto this machine, and then we'll test for spark, take it outside, and if it has got spark, see if it'll run. I'm hoping that's cured, because if it ain't that, then we'll do a bit more investigation work in it, and I'm getting a bit stumped as to what it is, so we shall see. Right, so where we left it a couple of weeks ago, I need to now remove the recoil, because we cleaned the old coil up, didn't we? And we tried to retest it, and it was still saying no spark. So we're now going to remove the bolts again off of the recoil, and there's 4 to do, 2 at the front, 2 at the back. We'll remove those. We're going to remove the coil, the recoil, off the top one more time. Put that out of the way. And here's our coil just here, which has all been cleaned up, as you can see. But as I say, it's just not having it. So I thought I had a bit of a break in the wire, but there's definitely no break there. So we're going to remove the coil. 2 bolts is all that holds that on, and then we can slowly retract the coil out of its hole, remove the kill switch wire. Now I check continuity on the actual wire itself. I'm going to remove the little tiny boot off of there, because we're going to need that to go on the new coil. It literally just pulls off. Okay, I can then grab my new coil. Here's my new coil. I'm going to put the boot onto there. Just slide that in. Now you might want to get a little tiny bit of lube or something on there, just to help it, not too much, just to help it go in there, because they are a bit of a tricky thing. But a little bit of lube just makes it just slide so much easier. That's on. So it says cylinder side, and this side out. This side out faces up. Okay, cylinder side is nearest the cylinder, which is there. So I'm going to put my wire on first. That goes on, and we want this side out, facing up. Put my wire in. I'm going to get my 2 bolts and just start them off. Now, the difference in prices, just so you know, for a copy coil was about 23 quid, and for a genuine coil was about nearly 50. So I went for the copy. Okay, because it is quite an old machine. I'm going to slide the magnets round now, so you'll see as you slide the flywheel round, you'll see the coil move. When it grabs it all the way around, there's a magnet there. You'll see the coil actually move like that. You see, so it's got hold of it. So just bring it back a bit, and then slide this business card in between the coil, like so, and then just hold that coil back. As you slide the magnet round, the coil will then grab it, like so, and then you can just nick that up very, very gently. You don't have to hang on this, as long as it's got it, because you will snap them bolts. Okay, that's down. So that's a coil now fitted, and it's been gapped correctly. Remove the business card out. Ooh. And then we can now fit our HT lead on. That's on. We can now fit the recoil system back up. So and check that kill wire is actually doing its job. That's tied in. He has a big gap there, so get a little bit of a clean. Although I do know that's not the issue. I know it's not, because I have actually seen that work. Just going to test it. Now I've just touched it. So that's making contact. Yeah, it's stopping it. I'm just moving the switch here. It's definitely making contact. I know it is, and it's breaking contact when I don't need it to. So I know that's working as it should do. That's one of the things I checked beforehand. On goes my recoil, like so. That's all on, and we've got the 4 bolts to fit back onto there. 3, 4. They're all the same. Just start them off first before we commit to locking them all down. Oh, hello. What number is that on? Number 2. This one down the back. Yeah, looking forward to see the old man today. We've had quite a few good days out of him. He's been talking a little bit, of which he hasn't been for about 2 weeks, and he is now starting just to show a little bit of progress, but that's because of changing meds on him. But we shall see. I'm not hoping for too much. That sounds awful, but I don't want to get my hopes up and get them dashed again, so we shall see. Right, so what I can now do, what I don't want it to do is this machine to start whilst it's up on the bench, but what I can do is I can test for spark. I don't think it's going to start anyway, to be fair. It's not been on choke or anything, to be fair. So that says low. We're now just going to put that down there. Give it a bit of a pull. This won't start. I know it won't. Still says low. I wonder if that's a battery issue on here. Let me just change the battery on this. It says low straight away, which I think it always has. I think it always has said low, to be fair. Look, now we've got a green flashing light. Can you see that? So, because it's local, I wasn't putting it very fast. So let me just show you. So I knew this machine wouldn't start anyway. It's just been sat in here for 2 weeks doing nothing, and it needs to be choked. So down here, see that little red light just there? There it is there. I'll do a bit of zooming in when I put it when I edit the video. But now, I'm trying to put it without the pull cord on this out of my hand. But now when I pull it, it's now saying high because I'm not pulling it correctly. That's all it is. But a second ago, I did see it say green. There you go, green. So we have actually now got spark. So that's good. So I would say we are well on the way to repairing this machine. So next thing to do is I've got to now assemble all the bits and the bobs. So I've got to put the throttle cable back on to make sure that's all working, and I've got to put all the covers back on, the pull cord handle back on, all that sort of stuff, which you saw me take off in the video. So let me get it all reassembled. And then I need to check the oil anyway, and then we'll take it outside, give it a pull, and see if we can't get it to start. It may need carburetor work yet, but it wasn't doing anything at all. So let me get it all put back together, and I'll meet you outside on the lawn, and we'll go for a fire up, see if it actually starts or not, and then we'll go from there. Right, all done, and what I have done also, I have just literally took the carburetor off, or just a bowl, and just give the old jet a bit of a rim out as well, because it's been sat for about 2 or 3 months. So to give it a fighting chance of starting, I thought I'd just do that quickly as well. So hopefully this will now fire up. Let's try and find why my tripod is falling. It's not tightened up. Right, okay, so let's have a little look, see what it now does. It's got a new spark plug, new coil, carburetor just been rimmed out, and we'll see if it will actually start. Let's put it onto choke, and there's a little bit of fuel in there, not a lot. Let's see if it'll actually start up first, Mick. Lovely. Just going to get some petrol for that whilst it's just idling over, because it's nearly out of juice. Oh, I've got the boys in the background talking away. My small engine friends. Just put a bit of juice in it. So it's not been run for about 2 months. Good. So that looks like it's fixed it. So just to recap, the coil was saying that it was reading about 2.4, 2.6 on the coil, and that's actually a good coil, but it's actually faulty inside. So just because your coil tests good doesn't necessarily mean it is good. Now that's even harder when you have got a spark and it's still not starting. It could be a weak coil, but this is showing no spark, but still testing okay. So if it's got no spark and still testing okay, you could say it's a coil. If it's sparking but not starting, you could say it's a bad coil or a weak coil. So, but that's good. Let's try and start it again. It might want a bit of tick over adjustment on it, that's all. Yeah, it does, yeah. And my dead man works lovely, so that's good. Got to put that pull cord back up there again, but apart from that, that's now done. So good. All right. Got to wrap this video up because I'm going to see my old man in the care home and go from there. But there you go. There's a video for you. I know I've not been about much, guys, but not felt the need to do videos, not felt the want to do videos, and just I'm not in a good place at the moment. But I'm also conscious that you guys are here and you're sending me bits and pieces. I need to say thank you for that. And I think this is actually good for the brain too. I'm currently on the phone chatting to my friends Hank, Klaus and Luke, and Simone was there earlier on, so I'm just chatting with them, just chilling out, having a cup of coffee, fixing an engine. That helps, having a bit of a small engine community contact, that does help. So thanks for guys and girls that are sort of, making sure I'm okay and reaching out. I do appreciate it. But we are turning a little bit of a corner with Pop. He has just sneaked his head around the corner, and I don't know if it's progress or not. I don't know, but I'm not going to wish too much because I don't want to get me dreams all smashed to pieces. But we are turning a corner somewhere with Dad, and hopefully, if he can hang on to that for a little while, we can enjoy him for a little while longer. We should see how we get on. That's as simple as that. It's all on him. It's what he's got left in the tank, and how much of the dementia's taken hold. We should see. But I'm happy to go and see Dad, whether it's good or bad. It's irrelevant, he's my dad, and I love him. So there you go. So there's a video for you. Lawnmower now done. I can now get off my mate Clive and say, thanks very much for being patient. 2 months he's been waiting, and his mower's now done. I've got nothing else to come in, so I can put my feet up and rest a little bit now. And but I think I need to get down and just do a bit, because it does help the old grey matter. So, and this is something I enjoy doing. So there you go. There's a video for you. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this little episode of Micks Mowers and Mower Man, hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be notified next time I upload another video, and I look forward to you guys next time Micks Mowers very, very soon. But until then, don't forget, much more importantly, take care easy.